hello again, beautiful people. I am so elated, so happy to be with this Wonder Woman today in our podcast, The Calling, Follow the Spirit All the Way In. So today we have the amazing Cassie Howard, which if we need to squeeze this phenomena into a title, I will say that in a very logic way, we can say that she is a business and money mentor. However, I find her to be a phenomena.
Thank you.
A phenomena. I feel that it is so challenging to capture you under words. And I feel that it is quite challenging to capture you from social media or from the way that you work with people. It's a phenomenon. There's no two of you.
I hope not.
That not exists. Yeah. So I know Casey from the online world and from working together and for her support and opening me up as I was journeying in transitioning from hands-on healing and teaching in person to the online realm. And it was amazing and beautiful to be inspired and to have conversation with you and work with you. And one of the amazing things that I loved so much and still love with you, and we just chatted about that a few minutes ago, is that when I am witnessing the way that you move, I see mind, body, spirit. At once there is a recognition or a realization or an insight or a conversation with yourself, with your depth, something, there is a decision that you've made. All of your emotional, physical, mental bodies, money body, spiritual body, all of them are immediately aligned and execution in zero times. The right description?
This is perfectly true. Yes. Yes.
What is going on in your system when this is done?
This is something I honestly find this so difficult to even explain because even I don't know half the time why I move the way I do, other than the fact that I just trust myself and I trust what's coming through, and I always act on intuition and I act on physical cues from my body. So my body will typically give me a cue if something is a no or if something is a yes. And if it's a no, it's very clear. It's like I feel tight and restricted. And when it's a yes, I feel like all tingly all over my entire body. Like I just know the cues. And so when the cue is there, it's very easy for me to make a decision and just go. Even if it's a yes and go for it, but I don't know how I'm going to do it, or it's scary, or I don't even know how I would start. That's where the trust piece comes in. I just trust myself to figure it out.
And then everything align. The universe responds.
Always, always, even if it's difficult. And I have had times where I've made a decision to do something and it turns out to be incredibly easiest thing I've ever done in my life. And then other times where it's the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life and I start questioning, why did I do this? But even in those situations, there's lessons. And it's those lessons that take me to where I'm actually meant to go. So in the end, it was exactly the right path for me, even if it was difficult.
So what was the first time that you've realized that there's the signal here, there's a yes or an irrational yes or an irrational no that you just sensed, and although it was irrational, you gave yourself completely to that thing?
There's been so many of them. The one that really jumps out at me was going into the coaching space, which was back in 2015, but this started around 2014. I started to hear about it. People were telling me, you should be a coach, you should teach people business. And I didn't really understand what that meant. I'd never heard of the coaching industry before. And once I went and did my due diligence, I started looking at it and seeing what it was all about. There was this instant feeling in my gut, like, this is where you need to go. But then there was the other side of that coin where it was, you don't have a clue how to do this. You would be starting from scratch. You would be a complete newbie in this. What if it doesn't work? There was a lot of that, but I just trusted. I was like, I really feel like this is where I'm meant to go. And I got that the full body tingles. Everything was telling me this is the way. And so I said, let's go.
What was your situation, your current situation at that time?
So at that time, I had a blog that I had run for almost 10 years at that point. And it was a very successful couponing and frugal living website. And I was just bored of it. I was tired of it. It wasn't really in alignment with my lifestyle anymore. And it just didn't feel like the right fit. And I just remember one day saying, I can't do it anymore. This is not meant for me. And I'm somebody who was, when I say I was a couponer, I was what they call an extreme couponer. And I'd be one of those people you'd see in the grocery store with a binder full of coupons. And I took it even more next level, and I had 2 binders. And I would be going around in the grocery store with all my coupons. And on the day that I decided to go for this in the coaching space, I remember vividly taking my coupon binders, both of them stuffed full of coupons, and I opened my garage door and the trash cans were right there, and I just threw them in the trash. And I just completely cut that cord and jumped in with both feet into the coaching space.
Yeah, so this is strong because there's 2 things that you're saying here. One is you throw away what was meaning the world for you at that time.
Yes, exactly.
You just took the diamond ring that you had and throw it to the garbage. And then the second thing that you highlighted here is that you cut the cord immediately.
Yes.
So that needs a lot of force to do that. What do you feel this power is coming from? What do you feel that guides you there?
Passion. It's passion and desire. I was passionate about this industry, the couponing in industry, for a long time. And then the passion started to fade as my lifestyle faded. Like, I became vegan. And so a lot of the products that I was promoting on my blog, I didn't believe in. They were a lot of animal products and things like that. So I was like, this just isn't me anymore. And I'm not somebody who likes to waste my life, and I don't want to do something just because it's working. I want to do something because I love it and because I'm having the time of my life doing it. And I just wasn't having the time of my life with this anymore. Even though it was successful and I was making great money and people loved it, it just wasn't it for me anymore. So I had to let it go right away. And I like to just rip the Band-Aid because I find that's a lot easier for me to move on than to do it gradually.
Yeah. Yes. And you know what I'm getting as I'm listening to you? Because this conversation of following your spirit and following your heart and saying yes to yourself and being loyal to yourself and knowing, being the master who knows exactly what is good for you, what is not good for you, and taking responsibility if you don't know it 100%. And one time you've made this choice as an experiment of your soul, but not necessarily you needed to take, like, that is not everything. So one of the things that I'm getting as we're speaking about passion and you bring this energy is that when you, in that case you, decide to focus on all your energies on one thing, then there is like a type of a reward that is coming back and nourishing you back from it. It's a 2-direction relationship. I am passionate toward that thing, and in some way, that thing nourished me. While we can also say that people sometimes are searching for nourishment from places and people that are completely not a match. And there are also people who decide to dedicate their energy and dedicate their power and all their attention in something that is not necessarily alive. And once this went out of alignment for you, it was irrelevant anymore.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, it didn't work, and it didn't work anymore for me personally. It worked in a logical sense. It still did what I wanted it to do when I first created it, but for me, it just did not feel aligned anymore. And why would I stay with something that's not aligned for even 1 second longer than I have to?
And this is power and big trust in yourself and in in the universe.
Yeah.
Because I know if I'm counting in my head, I know about 3 iteration of your life.
Yeah.
And probably we are already in the 4th, and we must admit you're quite young.
I'm gonna die and be reborn many more times.
So all the times that it happened, when you say, okay, this have lost its taste, was the same phenomena for you?
I think so. For the most part, yes. And maybe in the beginning, I didn't really know what it was. I just knew that feeling of this isn't the thing. And I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to stay here a second longer than I have to if I know this isn't my thing. And I want to enjoy my life. I want to do things that light me up. I always knew from when I was really young, when it came to money and business, I knew that I didn't ever want to just have a job and just to make money and then pay my bills and then live my life. And that just didn't do it for me. I knew that I wanted to make so much money that I could just do whatever I wanted in the world, in my life. And I didn't have any restrictions and I was completely limitless and really giving myself that. So I didn't know how I was going to create that. I just knew that was what I wanted. And so everything that gets me closer to that, I always say yes to.
Yeah. But then you didn't know how it will happen.
Exactly. No
You had
clue.
no idea that this is what it would look like.
Exactly. And
But
I
were
don't
you,
even know what 10 years from now it may look completely different from how it looks now. I'm so in for the whole journey. I'm so in no matter what, and I'm open to not knowing how it's going to turn out, but on the way there, I'm going to love the journey. And so I'm going to do it in a way that actually lights me up and feels good.
can you riff a little bit more? Because this is one of the things that I really love about you. How it's not only that you're searching for the places that will feel fun and alive, you're also, you're just inventing the parties again and again, another party and another party, and balloons and champagne. Let's do that.
Yeah,
What?
I love that celebration of life in general. Like I used to be somebody who was very opposed to celebrating unless it was what I determined was like a huge deal. And so I wouldn't celebrate that much because we don't really have these huge moments in our life all the time. They just come randomly. But when I started to just celebrate everything, I would celebrate the fact that it was sunny instead of rainy and overcast. I would celebrate that my milk hadn't expired yet and I thought it was going to expire and I wouldn't have milk for my matcha. Everything like that. I celebrated every single thing. Not everything was celebrated with balloons and champagne, but certain things were. But even the celebrations were fun. And it was the celebration that got me so excited to keep going. There's always something to celebrate. And if I'm not celebrating, then what am I doing? I'm not doing anything. The more I do, the more I get to celebrate.
And do you feel that there's a different energy when you're celebrating those little moments of life with your cats and your matcha, and when you are celebrating the what you define as a big, bold moves?
Yeah, completely different feeling. And I actually like the smaller celebrations better. Like the
Wow.
everyday celebrations. I like them better because I feel more connected to them because it's like an everyday type of energy. Whereas with these huge milestones and big things, of course I love them. I love those celebrations too, but those don't happen all the time. So that I don't feel as connected to them. So I have my celebration and then I move on. Whereas with the everyday smaller celebrations, I don't move on. They just keep happening. And so I keep celebrating.
So would you say that this is like your own way of keeping your vibrational body in a certain state of connectedness and passion? And would you say that?
It's one of the things, yes. There's a few different things I do, but celebration is a huge one that helps me every day.
I love that. So can you share other, we can say when we said the term of big, bold move, like this is something that you speak a lot about it.
Yeah.
Make it big, make it bold. and move with it. Can you speak to that? What do you see there?
Big, bold moves to me is saying yes to things that maybe don't make sense on paper, saying yes to things that feel scary, feel like you're walking into the unknown. And in my experience, those are always the moves that change your life. So if you want to change your life, make a big, bold move. That's really what I believe. You can't make big, bold moves every single day because there's only so many things you can do, but you can make big, bold moves multiple times throughout an entire year and go through the end of that year a completely different person. And that's what I like. I want to end the year a different person, a more evolved person, somebody who has really gave it their all that year. And so I'm always making big, bold moves.
Can you inspire us with some big, bold moves?
Oh, it depends what it is that you would determine as a big, bold move. So for me, big, bold moves are different. If I make a pivot in my business, I change my business model somewhat, that would be a big, bold move. Big investments, whether it's in my business or outside of my business. We just bought our house this year, so that was a big, bold move. Mentorship, long-term mentorship, big, bold move. Even going on a vacation, making a decision to go on a vacation somewhere is a big, bold move to me. Trying different strategies in business is a big, bold move. Deciding to have a baby is a big, bold move. Like anything like that. Not that I decided to have a baby, FYI. Side note. No, just an example. But there's so many different things that you can do to make these moves, but you'll know what it is. And it comes from that feeling. You'll have a physical reaction in your body of, oh my gosh, should I? I don't know if I should. What if I do when this happens? That's how you know it's big.
So what would you say for most of the people? Like, one of the things that is really important for me to speak with you is the opposite of it. So the opposite of it is hesitation, overthinking, procrastination. What do you feel that those things are? Did you ever experience them lately? Like, when was the last time that you felt that you procrastinate something?
I procrastinated yesterday. Yesterday I procrastinate all the time. But the thing is I recognize when I'm doing it. And so I can course correct pretty quickly. But that it's one of those things where we do it as human beings, we get frustrated, we get overwhelmed, we get confused, we procrastinate, we second guess ourselves, whatever it is. And it's first and foremost about recognizing that you're doing it. And then when you recognize that you're doing it, then you get to make the decision, okay, and what do I want to do about this? Do I want to keep doing it? Yes. Okay, great. There we go. Do I not want to keep doing it? Then what am I going to do instead? And then it's just making a different decision.
Yeah, but there's the whole first that we must laugh because you say, yeah, I procrastinate yesterday. But there are some people who procrastinate already something from last year.
Yes.
We're speaking about a day. This is not such a big, right?
Yes, exactly. And it's different things too. If it's a procrastination where I want to build my business and I want to build my business to 7 figures, for example, right? If that's what you're saying, but then you have posted on social media twice this month, you've sold your offer 2 or 3 times, you barely focus on the business side of things at all, then that's procrastination. And that's usually from a place of overwhelm. Usually people procrastinate either because they're overwhelmed or they don't actually want the thing that they say they want. It's usually one of those two.
This is strong. So it comes back to me to this soul, mind, heart, body aligned move. Because if you don't have it, then your mind wants something, your emotional body will feel something different about it. And then, of course, how can you move? And this is, as you describe, a procrastination. Because you don't know how to move. You don't know what to do. You don't know if you really want that.
Yeah.
This is so beautiful.
You have to figure that out first. Do I actually want the thing that I'm saying I want?
Yeah. And yet there are so many people who just say they want something so many times. And sometimes this is exactly what you want. You really want that. And yet you're not able to bring yourself into facing it, into acting according to that.
Yeah, because if you want something bad enough, you do what it takes to get there. Like, you want to show up, you want to do the work, you want to make it happen. So if you're not making it happen and you're not doing the work, then there's something going on there.
I want to give a little energetic reading for me as I'm looking at your energy field, and then we can guide other people around that. I feel that when you speak about something and you say, I want it, what I see in your energy field is that you are speaking from somewhere here behind the top of the end of the skull, the top of your spine. And I hear you saying, if you want something, you want that and you get that. It is somewhere rooted energetically. We call it the wheel of dream. This is where it is rooted. While when some people can say, I want that, and they can really want it, it's not that their heart would not want it, but their mind want it from here, from the ideas, from the superficial understanding of it, and not from the core. Yeah, this would be the word that I can say now. Not from a deep, because I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read that a little bit more. It's because I feel that inside of me, I can put all my energy on it, and not the other way around. I want that so much and I want that badly, so I'm now going to search for energy. I'm not going to search for energy. When I read your energy speaking about that, you're not searching for the energy. You're just like bombing yourself up with, here is all the energy I have. Let's use all of it. And this is, again, really the example of why there's no procrastination and why there is no zero time, because immediately all the resources are being used. And okay, I want to speak about lack consciousness. May we elaborate here? Okay, because what I get here is that procrastination, in its definition, there is a lack in it. There's a silent calculation of what will I get, what will I gain, what will serve me, what will not serve me. Maybe I should save a little coupon for the future. So this is why I procrastinate. I take the full energy and I start to distribute it for 2 days or 5 weeks or 3 months or 3 years. Oh my God, this is such a big aha moment. I wonder if the people who are listening also feel like there's a piano falling on their head.
Yeah, there really is a lack in it, 100%.
How
For
does
sure.
how would you describe your abundance consciousness? How does it feel inside of you? Give us a little bit of transmission from aura to aura.
How does it feel? It feels to me like, even when I think about it conceptually, I feel like I'm in a room, like a dark room, and so I'm surrounded by doors, and every single door is open, and I can go to whatever door I want, and behind every door is a dream. So if I get to choose wherever I want to go, and then I go in there, I get what I want, I come out, that door closes, another door opens. There's still so many doors to choose from. That's how I feel, and I just feel like those doors are always open. They never close, so I can always have what I want, or even better.
Amazing. So all the doors are experienced so vividly within you as illusions.
Yeah.
It's just a sign that there is a door, but actually there's no door. It's already
Exactly.
here.
Yep.
It's already here. Casey, one of the things that I remember that you were speaking of is that you worked with energetic healer on the way of this beautiful transformation and evolution. What was the benefits that you have seen and experienced working on energetic for yourself? I also recall that you were mentioning that before you were not so much aware, right?
I was aware of it, but I ignored it. I was like, no, this isn't important. No, I don't need this. I thought it was just silly. And then I decided, what do I got to lose? I might as well just try it so that I have proof that it doesn't actually matter. That's why I did it. And silly me, I was the one who was proven wrong in that. And when I worked with this energy healer, the biggest thing that she taught me was how to feel. which sounds like so small, but it was so significant for me. I never let myself feel any unless it felt good. So I could feel happy, I could feel excited, I could feel all those things, but I couldn't feel disappointed, I couldn't feel angry, I couldn't feel scared, anxious, nothing. Any of those feelings were bad. And so I wouldn't let myself feel them when really I needed to feel those emotions. I needed to feel those feelings in order for me to process them and move through to the other side. And so that's what I started to do more of, was to just feel more.
Feel that once you started feeling more and expanding the spectrum of your feelings, you felt that you expand the world, you expand the participation. What was the outcome? How did it came to life?
I was able to release a lot. I had realized that I had so much anxiety and so much anger and so much shame and guilt and all of these emotions that I never let myself feel. I realized that I had a lot of that was buried, and it was energetically keeping me stuck. And I wasn't able to go any further in my business and my personal life, my relationships. I couldn't go any further until I actually cleared that all out. So I cleared it. I did forgiveness work. I let myself, I remember one time she gave me an assignment. She said, your homework is to go scream. She said, go to the woods or go somewhere. She said, just scream. And I remember I didn't go to the woods. I did it in my house because nobody was home. And I just screamed the loudest scream I could ever scream. And I felt like a new person after that. It was like such a simple thing, but there was so much like anger that was just like built up down there that I had to let it go in order to move forward. So it was things like this so that I could release those stored emotions.
Amazing. So you created spaces. You opened the doors. All
I
the
opened
doors.
more doors. Yeah.
More doors.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you're still doing those things for you, for yourself? Are you still applying energy work, emotional work, forgiveness work, self-awareness? Do you feel that it's
Yep.
still...
Yep. 100% every day. There's something every day. It's not as much as I did before because I had so much that I had not done for years that I needed to do a whole bunch at once. But now it's just become an everyday part of my life.
Wow, this is so beautiful and so important for us to know. Like, this also aspect of multidimensionality in life is experienced because there's an inner multidimensionality, and because you allow yourself from the inside to tap to what other might seems as a forbidden zone, or we can say that you in your past have seen those places as a forbidden zones.
Yeah.
So that takes me to speak about another thing that I really love with you and with the freedom you give yourself. I hear you so many times saying and declaring that you are here to show what is possible.
It's a big mission.
Your brand is the Limitless Woman, right?
Yeah.
If people are going to start now already starting, where do I find her? So we have the Limitless Woman brand. What is it about this feeling of I am here to show what is possible and probably what is beyond possible, right?
Yeah, beyond for sure. For me, the reason I started to do this was I never had anyone who could show me. Everyone who would show me what was possible would show me what was possible with limitations. You can do this, but you can only go so far. And so I just never liked the way that felt. I was like, what if I want to do more than what everybody else has done? What if I want to do bigger, bolder things? What if I want to change perceptions? What if I want to change realities, change timeline? What if I want to change all these things? If nobody else is going to show me the way, then I'm going to figure out the way, and then I'm going to show people the way. And so that was my mission for myself years ago. And the whole concept of the Limitless Woman is really that you can just have and be and do everything that you want in life and then some. And there's so many different things that are possible that you don't even know are possible because we've been conditioned our entire life that there's limits and that you can only do so many things, or you can only go so far, you can only, you know what I mean? There's so many limits, and I just don't like limits. And anytime something somebody tries to tell me that there's a cap on something, I like to prove them wrong and show them that the limit really doesn't exist at all.
Yeah, it sounds so natural when you're speaking about that. It sounds so soul aligned.
It is. For me, it is, yeah.
Even when you were saying I'm gonna prove them wrong, it's there's some naughty energy in there, like this playful naughty energy in it when you're describing it, and at the same time,
I'm serious.
yes, and it's not only serious, is this is the way that you relate to the limit. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean by that? It's,
Yeah.
oh, I need to prove you wrong because like that I demonstrate that we stretch the horizon even further. What is your wildest dream? Like how far do you hold the horizon?
The wildest dream. I don't even know if I can answer that because I don't even know what my wildest dream is because there's so many dreams that I know are going to happen for me that I haven't even dreamt up yet. Like I know that, but in terms of what I have thought of, my biggest thing is my animal sanctuaries that I want to have. Like at first it was I want to have an animal sanctuary. That was my goal. Now I want to have animal sanctuaries all across the country and then eventually all across the world that rescue farm animals. And I want to have at least 1,000 in every country to have animal sanctuaries, which is enormous. It's an enormous amount of sanctuaries and an enormous amount of animals. But that is a huge dream for me.
Yeah, so for those people who do not know you yet, I'm not sure if they are able to understand how serious you are about that. Because
Yeah.
there's something like we're speaking about the big bold move and about making money and like following the spirit and so on. And then animal sanctuary. And then you ask yourself, what is she speaking of?
Yeah.
But then this animal sanctuary from knowing you for some years now, I think 2 years now that we know each other, there is, when you speak about animals, it's so profound. And the way you led yourself in life to create things that you've wanted in millions and millions of investment, this is not such a far away vision. Only the size of it could be impressing.
Yes, for sure. And it's always been something in the back of my mind, like one day I'm going to have an animal sanctuary. And I've known it for so many years now. But now I'm at the point where I could start an animal sanctuary tomorrow and it would work. It just, the timing doesn't feel right yet. And that's the only reason why I haven't done it. But I know that when I do it, I can just tell, I can feel it in my body. It's because I'm not supposed to just do one at a time. Like it's supposed to actually be a really big deal. Like so big to the point where I'm on the news and people around the world are like, did you see this crazy chick who's like starting all these sanctuaries? Who is she? Where did she come from? That's honestly what I envision for this.
Do you see that like of a type of a non-profit organization or something like that, like a charity
Yeah.
aspect?
Yeah, exactly.
This is how you see it. Wow.
Yeah.
The
Definitely
vision.
not, it wouldn't be a for profit at all. It would be 100% for the animals. So 100% charity.
Yeah, this is why I can understand why if someone create like, I don't know, even 10 of them at the same time, it's
It's a lot.
already what is happening here. What is
Yeah.
happening here? I love this expansion. I love this trust. I love just the moment of watching and witnessing and allowing people to come into your field and see what it means to go fully with trust. This is also how maybe you can say a few words about how you coach and how you guide and what you do with your clients as we come into completion.
The thing that I love working with my clients is that it's always so unique, the experience that we have together. A lot of my clients come to me for strategy. They just like, how do I build my business, make more money, grow my audience, my impact? I'm really big on strategy. I'm good at it and I love it. So that tends to be why a lot of clients will come to me. Most of my clients will come to me. But with most of my clients who stay with me long term, we talk about strategy very little. We talk about it a lot in the beginning, but then eventually it is more of the energetic work, it's more of the mindset, it's more of the big bold moves, it's more of the like the undercurrent as opposed to the surface level. And so that feels really good to me. So we get to have big conversations about everything, not even just business.
Beautiful. And this expansion have its ripple.
I like that. What I like with my clients is that we all benefit. It's I'm not benefiting without my clients benefiting, without their clients benefiting, without their family, their friends, their loved ones benefiting. Like everyone benefits when we do this work.
Limitless is limitless.
Limitless. 100%.
Oh my God. I enjoy this conversation. I enjoy this light and magical frequency that is coming to this space with you. And we're going to put, of course, all the links to find you, follow you, and enter this vortex of who you are.
Prepare yourself.
Prepare yourself. Yeah, you would never get. There's no way to get it. There's no way to get it. Is there anything you would like to say before we come to completion?
I think my final message that I want everyone to know, and this is something that I've been saying for years and years, is my motto for life, which is that you really can be, do, and have everything you want, but you've got to actually go for it. You've got to say yes. You've got to trust yourself. You've got to make the moves. And the next thing you know, you're going to be having regular celebrations about all the things that you're creating in your life.
Amazing. Thank you so much, my love. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for dedicating your time and your energy and sharing in this space.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for the questions.
I love you.
I love you.